Good morning. So it's really, really clear that this guy, Gabe Davis, the deep threat who used to play for the Buffalo Bills and then Jacksonville, would really like to play for the 49ers. Just wait to hear what he said about the 49ers yesterday. However, San Francisco keeps on signing wide receivers not named Gabe Davis. Earlier this week, Equinemius St. Brown. Just yesterday, Quintez Cephas. So I'm getting a lot of questions. Why are the 49ers signing all these guys with less impressive career resumes than Gabe Davis, even though Gabe clearly would like to be with the 49ers, and he even visited the 49ers a couple of months ago? Well, wide receiver signings go into two buckets, and I think people are confusing the buckets and thinking there's only one. There's the bucket of wide receivers that's going to help you win football games in September, and there's the bucket of wide receivers that's going to help you get through training camp. Sometimes it's one and the same, but in unique situations, such as the one that the 49ers face right now, it's not the same. They've signed Equinemius St. Brown and Quintez Cephas to help them get through training camp. Meanwhile, somebody like Gabe Davis is coming off a torn meniscus, probably not going to be fully cleared until the start of the regular season, although it's a little murky on that date. But he wasn't fully cleared when he visited the 49ers a couple months ago. But he tore his meniscus last year. He hopes to be and plans to be healthy for the 2025 season. But he would not be somebody that the 49ers could plug and play now into training camp so they have enough bodies to get through practice. Kyle Shanahan explained it well just a couple days ago. Kyle said that he loves having and requires having 10 available receivers to get through a training camp practice. So this fully explains the signings of Equinemius St. Brown and Quintez Cephas this week. You look at the wide receiver position. I'm highlighting it for you right here. We're going to scroll or toggle this left to right so you could see the whole room. But anybody shaded in pink is currently unavailable to practice. Brandon Aiyuk on PUP, Ricky Pearsall on PUP. He'll be coming off of it in all likelihood for Sunday's practice, but currently still on PUP. And Jacob Cowing not on PUP, but is not practicing because he pulled his hamstring the other day. So the 49ers down those three guys. The rest of the room, if you count, Jauan Jennings 1, Demarcus Robinson 2, Jordan Watkins 3, Junior Bergen 4, Isaiah Nayer 5, Tariq Owens 6, Equinemius St. Brown 7, Isaiah Hodgins 8, Russell Gage 9, and Malik Knowles 10. So the 49ers are at the 10, the bare minimum that Kyle Shanahan says you need to run a successful practice without compromising player health. As soon as you get down to 9, guys have to start taking more reps to fill the gap, to pick up the slack. And as soon as they have to start taking more reps, I mean, these are finely tuned professional athletes. And these are guys are coming off the off season, entering training camp. You want to build guys up. You don't want to overwork them right away. So that's when hamstring injuries are more likely to happen. That's when stuff can go bad. So you've got to make sure you have 10. When it became clear that Pearsall would miss the first 3 practices, not because he's hurt, but because the 49ers are taking their time building him up. He's running fast over on the field right now. He's already hit his MPH marks. But when it became clear that they were going to slow play Pearsall, they said, okay, we're going to sign Equinemius St. Brown because that took the 49ers down to 9. St. Brown was 10. Then Jacob Cowing pulled his hamstring, brought the 49ers back to 9 available receivers. They needed to get to 10, so they signed Quintez Cephas. Equinemius St. Brown, tall receiver, 6'4", very fast 40 for his height at the combine. It was a 4'4" guy at the combine. A great athlete, Equinemius St. Brown, but obviously toward the tail end of his career, doesn't have a catch since 2023. Was targeted only 2 times last season. Good veteran presence for the 49ers at the back end of their receiving room, but to expect anything more from Equinemius St. Brown would not be wise. Maybe he surprises you, forces his way onto the practice squad for the 49ers, and then turns into a contributor when they need him. But let's be honest about what this addition is. Let's be honest about what the addition of Quintez Cephas is. Cephas also hasn't had a catch in quite some time. It is an addition for training camp so that the 49ers have those 10 bodies. If you were to sign Gabe Davis, it would be for a totally different reason. It would be, A, he's a great deep threat, and maybe the 49ers will come to the conclusion once the start of the season it draws closer that they need a veteran deep threat like Gabe Davis. There's a reason why they hosted him on a visit, and they'll plug him into the receiver lineup. But there's so many questions that still need to be answered about that receiver lineup and its health as this regular season approaches. And so many of those questions cannot be answered until probably closer to the time that Gabe Davis is fully cleared, healthy, and ready to go, such as when is Brandon Aiyuk's return date? How about Jacob Cowing? How long is he going to be out with that hamstring? Is somebody else going to get hurt? Demarcus Robinson, is that suspension going to be 1 game, 2 games, 3 games at the start of the season? Those are a lot of questions that the 49ers just need time for answers. And although Gabe Davis, I'm sure, would love to be signed by the 49ers at his price right now, San Francisco just is not ready to make that move. And I think that it makes perfect sense when you outline where the 49ers are as a team. But anyway, this was Gabe yesterday on Kay Adams' show. Listen to him talking glowing about the 49ers.
On a visit there, it was awesome. I have a lot of teammates from UCF and previous players like Mac Jones and Isaiah Hodgins that were there. So definitely a team that I'm interested in for sure. San Fran is a nice spot. It's a great team with great players. Talked to Christian, talked to Greg and all them, and I met George, and I talked to a lot of the people out there, and it's awesome. San Fran's definitely a spot that I'm looking at. And, Shanahan's the man. He knows how to call an offense, right? And they just got a lot of great weapons around there. So
they need a deep ball threat. All I'm saying, it's easy math for me. I'm no coordinator, but
hey man, listen, I give props to those guys. Those guys been making some plays. Jennings was making hella plays when he had to. It was awesome to watch. And Aiyuk's a stud. He's a true number 1 player and got a lot of respect for his game. So definitely a team that interests me because I like to be around great players like that. It's definitely a great opportunity.
So Kay Adams says that the 49ers need a deep ball threat. I'm not sure if she's familiar with Isaiah Neyor, but San Francisco might have a deep ball threat in Isaiah Neyor. I'm just coming off of yesterday's practice where Isaiah caught that perfectly thrown ball. We need to talk a little bit more and give a little bit more credit to Mac Jones for that pass. It was a very, very nice 50-yard pass right to where only Isaiah Neyor and not the 3 defenders around him could grab it. But it was still a very, very difficult grab. And Nair's been making some plays. We just know all about his athletic ability. And, that brings up another point, and it's related to some of the ones that I made a little bit earlier about we have to just let this camp develop because the team is going to develop. What do the 49ers have in somebody like Neyor? What do they have in somebody like Tariq Owens? These guys need some runway and a chance to prove themselves. And if Isaiah Neyor is an undrafted free agent, makes a strong case over the course of the next several weeks that his 4.4 speed, 6'4 frame, 220-pound body is ready to deliver consistently at the NFL level, well, then all of a sudden your calculus changes when it comes to do we need a veteran target like Gabe Davis at receiver? I mean, there's just so much to consider, so many moving pieces that the 49ers would only want to make a move in the direction of what would it cost for Gabe Davis? At least $5 million a year, probably more. They would only want to make a move in that direction if they absolutely needed it when Davis is fully cleared. He's definitely not a camp body. This is a regular season performer whom the 49ers would be adding. Amari Cooper, another receiver still available on the market. I think Keenan Allen is still available as well. Those guys aren't playing for the veteran minimum. If they were playing for the vet minimum, they'd already be signed somewhere. Those guys are going to hold out for more money, as they should. That's their worth. They've done it in this league. They bring veteran presences to teams. You could argue stabilizing veteran presences. But the reason, there's a rush on signings in March because everybody wants to get to the front of the line for some of the higher priced free agents. But then some of the guys who are older, some of the guys who are coming off injuries, but are available, who still want more money than the veteran minimum, they'll wait. And the reason that they don't get signed earlier is because teams then enter this state of limbo where they're not exactly sure what they're going to need, and they're close enough to the regular season to say, hey, we're going to wait this out. And the players will say, okay, we'll wait this out too because we want to draw more serious interest from these teams. We'll wait this out until the needs become more crystallized. So it was kind of a meet and greet a couple months ago, right? When the 49ers hosted Gabe Davis. They knew that he was recovering from the meniscus. They sensed that maybe they might have a wide receiver need in the future, because they couldn't say at the moment because they were just coming off of the NFL draft and building their team throughout the offseason. But they sensed, okay, there might be a need in the future, but we've got to see how some of these recoveries go, how this potential suspension for Demarcus Robinson goes. So, Gabe, why don't you come in? Why don't we get to know each other? Why don't we, I don't know if they diagrammed a couple plays for him on the playbook or on the screen. I don't know what they did as far as schematics went, but they got acclimated. Gabe Davis actually went and visited a couple other teams, didn't sign there either. It was very clear that he was still recovering from the meniscus. And it's let's revisit this if and when the need becomes acute, or if and when this makes most sense. And as you can tell, Gabe Davis had a good visit with the 49ers. If they offered him the money that he wants right now, he probably would sign based on that video. But the 49ers have other issues to take care of, namely getting through training camp. And right now, they're filling the bucket of receivers to help them get through camp healthy. Quintez Cephas, Equanimous St. Brown added this season. All right, the first block of training camp practices ends today. So one more practice. I'm going to head down to Santa Clara. Make sure you tune in for the instant reaction. Our first two instant reactions have blown up. We got like 40,000 and almost 30,000 views on the second one. Why don't we go for 50,000 today? Everybody watch that instant reaction. Hit the notification bell right now. I know you're all subscribers. If you're not, then you've got work to do. But hit the notification bell so you're notified when the instant reaction from the helmet comes out, and then send it to all your friends. Let's make this one blow up on our road to 100,000 real subscribers. That's why the 49ers keep signing wide receivers not named Gabe Davis. See you in Santa Clara.